All right, hello everyone, and we are live for another show or episode, we want to call it, of Creators Talking. And tonight's episode is one I've been looking forward to. Actually, when I started doing these streams, this gentleman was on my list of people I wanted to talk to for reasons we'll get into. Um, because he's actually achieved an accolade of actually getting me to back a crowdfunded book again, which we'll get to shortly. And we did speak briefly back when myself, Dave, Aria, and Rob did the bargain bin. And I always thought I'd love to talk to him again. So without any further delay, we have, I'll see if I get this right, the writer and creator of Perfect 10, the creator of American Bliss, and the owner and proprietor of Genuine Comics. It is Mr. Dave Brink.
Woo! Yes.
Did I get it all there? Did I miss anything?
No, that's kind of correct. I
Excellent.
love how you guys say genuine comics. Yeah.
Well,
I pronounce it genuine. I never knew what the right
I
pronunciation
suppose
was,
there's
but
I suppose
yeah,
there's two pronunciations,
yeah.
genuine or genuine. I suppose I was just trying to be flash by calling it genuine, because I should point out we've got a metal section of my desk here,
Mhm.
and on it is of course that.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, so that sits quite happily there.
I always send that with first time backers or buyers. They
I
get
like it.
the
I
magnet.
like it.
Yes.
Well, before we do anything, thank you so much for coming on. Like I said in the intro, I wanted to talk to you about your little side of the comic world for a little while. Uh, but we'll start with like the most basic question, the one I ask everyone. So, who was Dave before he got involved in collecting comics or the comic book world? What who were you?
Who were I? N- nothing, nothing special really. I
Oh, come on.
just, yeah, I just had. I think it's maybe interesting to tell why I think I got interested in comics, and this explains a little bit about my history also.
Hmm.
It's when I was very young, I had this tremendous stutter. I still have a little bit of stutter, but a lifetime of I had therapy and like I grew up, right? But when I was very young, I could barely even pronounce my own name, and so I didn't have any friends. I didn't like I was taught to not be social, right? So I kind of withdrew myself into comics, into
Mm.
reading, um, into imagination, and so I started to read like simple comics like the Garfield and Donald Duck and we had European things, Kuifje, Asterix, those kind of things.
Yeah.
And then one day I got this book which featured Superman and Spider-Man, and
Oh.
this was completely new for me. So um, and it was this bigger comic treasury format. I know now it was treasury format, um, and so I kind of discovered these characters through that, and it was Dutch because I couldn't really read English yet, um, and I loved it. This was my introduction to superheroes, basically. So I wanted to know more. So I began to find more of these books, which were translated by this Dutch company called the Junior Press.
Hmm.
They translated books like the Fantastic Four and the
Hmm.
Hulk, the bigger titles, and I started to read those, and I was totally hooked. So superheroes was my thing, and I was also a little bit like I could draw,
Hmm.
So I wanted to. I knew I wanted to do something with this um, when I grow up, right? And then at some point in school, as a teenager, I started Genuine Comics. It was like this group of students. We went to the school that was for advertising, and so you had a lot of creative people there, right? And so I made this little flyer. I had no name yet for the label for whatever. It was nothing. yet, right? So, and I was like, all right, what sounds cool? And I was like, I want to make comics that are authentic to me. So Jamin, it sounded cool. That was it, and I can change it later, right? So I had to put up something, and people actually responded. So that was like how Jamin Comics started, and we actually made some books together. So as students, we still in school. But we made books. We went to conventions, and we were very amateurish. We basically thought we were like the Dutch Image, it was really silly. Um, and then we did that for 5 to 6 years, and then the group fell apart because well, we needed to grow up. We needed to have families, work. So life.
Mhm.
We needed to experience life, and then basically that's what happened. Like 15 years after that, I just worked, but at some point I had my life in order, and I still had that itch that I wanted to do something with comics. And so in 2014, I began to I picked up all the files that I had still from Jamin Comics, and I kind of rebooted everything. So I made this comic called Earthling. I funded it through crowdfunding, which was back then was a thing that I discovered through Kickstarter.
Mhm.
Um, and I made it English because I wanted to do it right. I wanted to so the market here for English, like this kind of format books, is pretty small, and
Yep.
you have to aim it at the United States, right? So that was the goal. So make it the format, make it fit in within the American formula,
Mhm.
um, and that's what I've been doing ever since. So that's now 10 years.
Oh, wow. So going to your comic collection, besides the wonderful display you've got behind you, which quite frankly I'm jealous of, do you have some gems, some books you're proud to own?
Oh, some special. Yes, I have. I have. Oh, I can't find it now, but I have like very early books. I have one is from Iron Man, which
Mhm.
was I wish that I knew where it was. It's a mess, but
That's okay.
but it is black and white. It's Dutch. It was. I think it's from the 60s, and so it's not colored. It's very amateurishly lettered in
Mm.
Dutch with like type font, and it's apparently quite valuable. So I'm holding on to that one.
Mm.
I have a Scott Clark artist book,
Oh,
artist
cool.
comic. I love Scott Clark's art,
Mhm.
and so there was this project where they like gathered scans from work from
Yeah.
people all over the world, and they put it together into one book. And I have that, and that's one of my favorite things ever. So that's one of them. Yeah. Um, what else? I have the complete John Byrne collection from the
Oh,
Fantastic Four.
wonderful.
I love that series so much.
Mm.
Fantastic Four. So yeah, but it's a mess. I need to. I have like like maybe the problem, but there's too many books for too little space, right?
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you can't see it from here, but I've got comic boxes over that corner of my room. And if you can see that little bookcase in the end there, that's got some of the more collectible stuff I've got. For example, the Sin City stories. Frank Miller did some hardcovers, slipcased editions where he signed and numbered them, and I've got
Ooh,
four of them.
wow.
And the story That Yellow Bastard, which is the Bruce Willis story in the film, he only signed and numbered 500, and I've got number 5. Um, but I think one of my proudest collections I always keep right here, and it's this is a signed copy of Transformers #1 from the recent Image series, and it's signed by Peter Cullen, who's the voice of Optimus Prime
That is
in the
cool.
original cartoons, and I love this. It's one of my prized possessions. So
That's from the recent series.
yes, it is.
That part of the Energon universe.
That's it. Energy News.
Right.
Yes, yeah. And I encourage anyone to read that series because it's fantastic.
Right.
So
Ooh.
obviously, crowdfunded comics, it kind of went over the last few years because of Comicsgate and certain individuals. And I'm ashamed to admit Perfect 10 kind of passed me by for reasons we'll get into later. But the first issue, and I'm going to bring up the original Indiegogo for it here. Here it is. Ended up raising 7,804 euros of a 5,000 euro goal, which is awesome.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And it also came with the perk of having Dream Girl Sleeper Agent unlocked, and also Earthling. Is that Earthling? Yeah, it is.
Yes.
I've not seen this one yet, but obviously this was the first time where I became aware of you because for those who don't know, Dave and I chatted briefly back when my friends and I did the bargain bin, which feels like a lifetime ago now.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah. But tell me the genesis of this comic, because also I'm going to gloat here. Because obviously when I did get in on the Brink party, I have a copy of number 1, and this was the last one on sale in Dave's store, which we'll also cover in a little while. And from a quality perspective, it's a lovely cardstock cover. The paper is wonderful, and it's all around quality is fantastic. So tell me how this project began. How did you assemble your staff? How did you come up with the story? Just give me the whole shebang.
Well, in the very beginning, it started back in the 90s when I started this group, this Jamie Comics with this group, and so we had to create characters for this. We wanted to make the superhero universe. That was the plan. So we needed some superheroes, and I knew back then that I wanted a android-like hero.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but for some reason. So I knew I wanted some sort of android that could rapidly heal. And I had 2 characters called Thunder and Lightning, and these were my androids. And we actually produced some pages with those. When I later on, so it was never actually released, right? And later on, when I rebooted Jamin and like it is now, I hired this guy called Pau Rodrigues for some pinups. So I was a fan of Pau Rodrigues' art. I saw his work online, so I followed him. He had this Madureira-esque style, which I really like. And so he made some pinups for me from Earthling and stuff like that. And I told him someday I like to work with you on a full book. And he like, sure, it's like something people tell him probably. And so I began to save up, and I wanted to do something with. So I wanted to introduce new characters with him on a brand new title.
Yeah.
And I proposed to him to do a title called Gorgeous and Grotesque, which was basically I wanted this duo. So back in the 90s, I had this duo. I couldn't do anything with the Android thing, but I wanted this duo aspect. So I proposed that. He was like, sure, let's do that. And then I began to work on the story, but I didn't manage to get it like I wanted. So something just didn't click for me with the characters, with the story, with the background. And I was afraid that Pau would move on. He got other offers from other people. So I was like, let's try something else. So I took the other aspect from that concept, which was the Android thing, and I was like, okay, how can I introduce a Android-like character within this world that we have right now, that we had through Dream Girl and Earthling? And so I began to think about how such a world would even function if you have like superheroes,
Hmm.
a superhero universe, and what happens if people get superpowers. I think it's pretty realistic to assume that most people can't handle it well. They will probably likely use it for crime or for selfish like goals. And so the balance in the James universe is completely off. You have far more villains than you have heroes, right?
Yeah.
So then you have this organization that has to monitor things, which makes sense, right? So they are called Division M, like the meta-normal division. We call these people meta-normals. Um, and so Division M monitors meta-normal activity, but also tries to bring them in and train them to become like super cops, and they called meta marshals.
Okay.
So these were all things that I thought of while I was thinking of a reason to have 10 within this world, right? So okay, so in order to deal with all these villains that they technically can't handle,
Yeah.
they have this shadow side of Division M, and they produce these synthoids, which are these beings
Hmm.
um, who just follow orders, and they are like 10 times stronger and faster than humans, right? And uh, they heal, and they are like instructed to kill basically the supervillains. So, and this the scene. So even the superheroes don't know about that, right?
Hmm.
Um, and 10 is the 10th creation within that uh, product line. And then something goes wrong. So she wakes up and she's aware. And that's not usually the case with the other nine, right?
Hmm.
And that's how it basically starts off. And that what was the basic concept. And I thought it worked really well because it not only puts the character at the forefront, but it explains the universe, a large part of the universe,
Yeah.
how it functions. Plus, it gives the reader a way to discover this universe through
Hmm.
10, because she basically knows nothing about this world.
Okay.
So she's a great stand-in for new readers also.
Mm.
And this is how it basically started.
And what was
You
it like
just
working on it?
have to find like a reason for a character to be, right? So
Yes.
this was the problem with Gorgeous and Grotesque. I thought their names were fantastic, their powers were cool, they looked awesome, but I had no reason for them within this world.
Yeah. So what was it like putting this project together after so long? It must have been thrilling.
Yeah, you mean with issue 6 now?
Well, we'll get to issue 6, but issue
Okay,
1 primarily.
that was nuts. That I first off that I could work with one of my favorite artists, Pow. That was crazy. I was like, maybe we'll do a few pages, and he moves on. You,
Hmm.
you don't know, but we actually completed the book, which was fantastic. And I didn't know Pow that well. We now have this long working relationship, but back then I didn't really know how things would develop. So I wrote the first issue in such a way that we could leave it there. So it's basically it has this ending, which is a ending. So she's established within the world, and we could leave it there if Power would say, "All right, it was fun. I'm going to do other things for bigger like publishers or whatever." And then we had the Kickstarter, and it
Hmm.
was pretty successful for a new title.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
and Power was really happy, and Daniel, the colorist, was really happy. Everyone just liked the process, the production process. We worked very well together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I simply asked Pau, shall we do a second issue? I have ideas, and he was like,
Mm-hmm.
yes, immediately, yes. Okay, so I told him we can tell the story maybe in 3 issues. Would that be fine? He was like, sure, man. And now it's like 6 issues
Yeah.
because the series expanded as I was writing it.
Mm.
But he's still happy about it. He wants and he wants to do a issue 7. I have no plans yet, but he likes to continue. So yeah,
Yeah. Well, and obviously you've got these two add-ons, Dreamer Girl and Sleeper Agent.
it's a long time ago.
Yeah. How did they come about?
Um. Wait. So yeah. I have to think about the chronological order here, but I needed printing costs for these
Mm-hmm.
books, right? So these books were done. I was for a short period, about 18 months. I was with a publisher who published these superhero comics. But I wasn't happy there. It
Yeah.
was during the time that I was with them that I developed, that I made the Dream Girl book and Earthling 4,
Mm-hmm.
and so they could be published through them, and they did.
Yeah.
Um, I wasn't happy, and I left the publisher, and it was around the time of this um, of the creation of Perfect 10.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that I didn't want to do Perfect 10 through them, so and I had to reprint these books that I had made so I could publish them on my own label.
Yeah.
So I had my own inventory, and that was basically what these stretch goals were meant for. And once
Mm-hmm.
I had them, I could print them, and people could buy these books also.
Excellent. How did it feel sending out all these books to your backers upon like completion? It must have been, I'm going to say, satisfying to know that you've done it. You've got this book and it's out there, but also, I suppose, a little sad to see your babies go out into the world. Was that a fair way of putting it?
No, no, not sad. There was no feeling of sadness. There was feeling of nervousness.
Mm.
Like it's going out there. People are actually going to read and judge the things that I made for the last few years. That was nerve wracking. But it was really, really cool that people actually wanted these books. For I didn't know you can make comic books and you put them on there on Kickstarter and no one cares. But that didn't happen, so I'm really grateful for that. I felt really grateful. I was like, oh, this is great. I have something maybe that I can now build on. I have to keep going, but I felt nothing but gratitude. So I wanted people to have as much stuff as possible, and be happy and be satisfied with the book. So I keep people updated. It was important to me that people were happy, because I know that if they're happy, I
Mm.
can continue also.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So obviously, then you began to branch out with other works, and one which caught my attention because I'm trying to remember if we discussed this on Bargain Bin or not. And this is from your store, is of course Power Trip. Now it's been a while since I've read an anthology, but I like the idea of them because it's essentially a short story collection where it's essentially like 3 short reads that anyone can read, but at the same time, you're testing the waters for new creations.
mhm.
How did this come about? This one?
This came about. let me think, because there's a few years between issue 1 and issue 2. I didn't know if you were to make a second book, but the first book, there was this one, and it came about because it started with Mandel, with the Mandel story. I wanted to bring other people in. I wanted to create this world with others. So like this sandbox that we could play in, right? And I was playing this video game called DC Universe Online.
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah, and I so playing it with some people that kind of became friends, because you play together in this team, you do missions together, so you kind of get to depend on other people. You play together, and one of them, so we made characters within this world, and he had this character called Mandel,
Hmm.
and I told him that I was working on comic books. I wanted to make comic books, and he was like, "Oh, that's so cool." I was like, "If you ever want to bring Mandevil to this universe, please do. We can just write him in there." So he was interested to write. So I had to give him the opportunity. So for a short story, that was all that I could afford. I couldn't afford a full book for someone that I didn't know who could really write.
Hmm.
So I had to test it, start small. So he made this, I think it's 8 pages or something, 8-page story. I had just enough money to put a fairly cheap artist on it, and we actually made this. So we had his comic, and then I was like, what am I going to do with this shorter story? I had some loose concepts, and I was like, maybe we can add some more stories to this and make one book. And that's how it started. So I was like, okay, I have so many concepts, so many characters, many still need work before they can even be introduced. Others are kind of done, but don't require their own title. They are basically side characters, or and this so the concept presented itself there. I was like, I still want to introduce these characters, but they don't need their own books. Every book, every title is a lot of investment with money,
Yes.
with time. So now I can introduce 3 different concepts within one book for the same work, same money, and that's how we did it basically. And then I had more characters. I was like, someday we can do maybe a second issue, and these are so these shorter stories are things that I do
Yeah.
on the side. So I focus on the bigger books, and meanwhile, through the years, I gather these shorter stories, and once I have 3, we have a new book. That's how it works. And I reach out to other writers, uh, writers like, would you be interested to write a story for this series? And this is how Michael Oden came to write American Bliss, uh, because American Bliss was out already, um, here in this
Hmm.
book, and I asked him to write a shorter story for another power trip, and he basically told me that short stories weren't his thing. Um, he wanted to do bigger, and he said, "I want to write her. I want to write American Bliss." And he came with a synopsis for a complete series. So that's how that started. So American Bliss came from Power Trip, basically.
Yeah. And you've actually given me the perfect segue into the next title, which is, of course, American Bliss, as we said.
Oh, you looked it all up.
Oh, yes, I looked it all
The
up.
history of Jamin Comics.
Yeah, yeah. raised €9,425 of a €5,000 goal.
That's crazy.
And I'm going to do this again because,
Look at
well,
Pow art.
yeah,
The Pow draws this character is magnificent.
yeah. And again, I have my copy here. It's the only one from the collection I haven't read yet because this week has just been nuts. But
Yeah.
I loved the story in Power Trip because not only have you got this girl who's being chatted up by a guy who, to be honest, is blatantly punching above his weight,
Yeah.
but because he's not a creep about it, and also around the same time for her beating the shit out of a big nasty, she gives him a chance, and you just think, I love seeing stuff like that because you could
Yeah.
guarantee in real life if a guy punched above his weight and landed an absolute babe like this, he'd treat her like a princess. So I thought, I'm in for this one. So, like I said, I bought that, and it's literally the only one I haven't read, but I'm getting there. Um,
Thank
what can you tell me about how this one came about besides what you've already said? Because I know obviously you've not written the issues you just said, but you obviously were its creator.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I wrote the short story, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then Odin picked it up and he like his story continues from my short story. But I just wanted a um, patriotic character within the world.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you have a superhero universe, you want to like touch on all the archetypes. And so I was like, all right, we have like Wonder Woman, Captain America, make a combination. And it was fairly simple concept in that regard. It's mostly what we did with it. So the backstory is very interesting. And now Michael Odin is really adding to the lore of this character.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. But her creation was fairly simple. The most difficult aspect of her was getting the costume correct. But like the concept was quite obvious. We needed one patriotic hero
Mm-hmm.
and with a different spin. So, but not like Captain America, but something else.
Mm.
Something, you know.
Yeah, well, like I said, the art is fantastic as well. Um, do you see longevity with this series as with Perfect 10?
Well, if uh, Michael would love to do 5 issues. That's what he needs for his story. So I hope that people like this, that we can you can reach that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's the plan for now. So five issues I would like to produce if it's possible. Um, so we're going to try that. It's a big ask, to be honest. I just asked Michael for for a short story, and he got me to agree to 5 issues, which is like years and years, and it's a lot of money. It's like crowdfunders, uh, but uh, but people really liked the character. So if you do this, you have to be sure about it, and
Mm-hmm.
I think this concept can win, um, especially with the synopsis that
Yeah, of course.
Michael drew up.
Hmm. So before we get on to the next comic, which is of course one of the main reasons you're here, one of the reasons I like what you do is because obviously you have the show Drink with Brink, and you have other creators on to highlight their works and give them a good boost to get their crowdfunds going. And I like stuff like that because obviously there's a lot of drama and a lot of shit slinging in the crowdfunded comic community, which we'll touch on briefly in a little while. And me, for one, I don't like it. I think it distracts from the creativeness of the whole thing because, in my opinion, independent work, novels like where I am, or comics where you are, they're where the magic happens. Because, especially in the mainstream stuff, there's a real lack of creativity out there. It seems to be a lot of the same old stories, the same old series. There's nothing new coming out that is any good or lasts very long. So, is that kind of why you do a drink with Brink to sort of help get these ideas out there and get these books made?
It has various reasons. I didn't want want to do it. So when I got doing to do like crowdfunding, you need to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
That's what I learned, and I like kind of slowly built this network of creators. Um, and I saw other people doing these shows where they talked about campaigns, and sometimes I got invited to one of them, and I was really grateful, but I was so incredibly nervous. I was like, my heart was pounding. I
Mm.
couldn't sleep the day before. I was like, oh no, I have this stream tomorrow. I'm going to ruin it. I'm going to stutter. I'm going to be stupid and silly. I'm going to say weird things. I'm going to ruin my entire like my entire brand, you know.
Mm.
And but you kind of need to. You just need to. And I was like, all right, let's go. And I thought that I needed to. So it was on. I was on John Malin's show
Mm.
at one point, and behind. So after the show, behind the scenes, he was talking to everyone, and he said, like, you have to get comfortable, guys. So do something. Start your own YouTube show. Help others. Grab the oar. You know. And I was like he's right. You know, I need to practice. I need to practice being on camera. Um, so that was one of the main reasons. And then I was thinking about, okay, but then what? So I have my YouTube channel. Then what? What am I going to talk about? I don't want to talk about making comics because what do I know? I was just a nobody. I didn't. I don't consider myself special or about the writing. I'm not, I can't. That's not the kind of content that I want to make. And I was like, but I can help other people because people brought me on. I can return the favor, right?
Mm.
Um, Plus, this helped me with like sharing uh, attention. uh, I basically had to host, um, and that's how a drink to brink became. Well, the name spoke for itself,
It's a great name.
which doesn't work in practice because most of my guests are from the United States, and when I stream, it's like afternoon for them.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't really drink then, but yeah. So and that was years back, and I've now done 187
Oh,
episodes, I
brilliant.
think,
Wow, wow, brilliant.
and it really helped me. I got more comfortable. I I got to like basically you have to stop caring. I was caring too much about how people thought of me,
Mm.
and I had to let go. And it not that only helped me with my with this basically, but also in my real life or my work and with other people. It's been really a good step. It's still not something that I enjoy. That I sometimes I do it. Some shows I'm like, this was the best show ever. It was really cool. I had a fantastic guest, but if I were able to make comics and sell comics without YouTube, I would quit YouTube immediately.
Mm. I remember someone else I used to watch saying that YouTube is not for everyone, and
Yeah,
I understand it. I mean, this show I do once a month at a minimum because I just like talking with other creatives and seeing how they think and how they go about their work and so forth. And originally, I was just going to do it with the writers, and I thought, no, I really want to sort of get in the minds of other creators and even
right.
talk to some people I've got a long admiration for. But no, I love Drink with Brink, and I love the fact that you do it
Thank you.
because hopefully in the distant future, when I finally got my backside round to writing something a comic related, I'll say, Dave, help me out here, and you'll be more than happy to bring me on so I can talk crap for a half hour or so.
And plus, I don't really. I've noticed that with sometimes I reach out to specific creators. I was like,
Hmm.
I would like to have this person on. That
Yeah.
would be awesome, right? But sometimes they ask me how many viewers do you have? How many? What's your subscriber count? And then they politely decline. And I was like, okay, that's too bad. But I don't want to be like that. So every channel that invites me, I just want to get out there and talk with people who are interested in comic books.
Mm.
Um, no matter how small the audience, it's just something
Mm.
that goes with being a creator.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. So, uh, to get to the main event, as it were. So we've got,
That's
yeah, yeah. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. So Perfect 10 collection, which is of course the trade paperback in issue 6. And
yeah,
at the time of this stream, 58 backers, and of your $2,000 goal, you've got $4,500 raised in 12 days.
nice.
Boom.
That's crazy.
I'm a backer of this funder. It's the
Thank
first
you.
book I've
Thank you.
backed, I think, in about 2 years. I think uh, I backed the issue number 6. I didn't have enough at the time to do the trade paperback. I'm going to probably do that at a later date because I imagine you'll be selling it in your store. But I mean, as a conclusion issue to this story arc, this has got to feel great to have this kind of reception.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's
Yeah.
like I said before. You never know if things catch on, and so I had something here with the creative team and with the concept that people really latched onto. They loved it, and once the story got rolling, it just had to keep going. The
Yeah.
story basically creates more story,
Hmm.
and that's when you have steam, right? You have
Oh yeah,
you have
absolutely.
something that has momentum, so you have to keep going. Um, and issue 6 is the last book within this story, and
Hmm.
I had planned to do a trade paperback. I was like, that is awesome. The first Jamie Comics trade, and I knew Critical Blast. The Critical Blast basically said, if you want to do a trade paperback, we can help you with that. We can publish it for you. We can do everything. I was like, that's fantastic. Um, and my initial plan was to do issue 6, have a campaign for that, like the previous books. And
Hmm.
then 1 year later, we have the Perfection Collection, which was the title that I had planned for years.
I like that.
Yeah, I know, it's so catchy. But someone, I forgot who, advised me, why don't you do the Perfection Collection together with issue 6, so you don't have to rebuild hype. This is the final issue. This is what people want, and then new people can immediately jump on with the trade. And I was like, that's fantastic. That's how we're going to do it. So I tried to keep the campaign simple. So issue 6 only has one cover, no variants, just one cover for everyone. Plus, if you want, you have the new book. So nothing too complicated.
And again, 58 backers, almost 5 grand. Great. I mean, brilliant. I can't wait to see this fulfilled. Obviously, as you've seen, I'm up to issue 3 that I bought from the store, and I'm enjoying the hell out of this book. So I'm looking forward to see how it concludes. But so far, congratulations on the success of this. I'd imagine, like I said, it feels great from a creator's perspective.
Yeah, that we even got to this far. I can't believe it. Actually, it's
Mm.
like every book is a project with challenges and problems, and but and then after this book, I'm like often I think we need to quit. It's too much work. It's too much hassle. But then the book is done and people like it, and the books go out and we get reviews and people show pictures. And we're like, oh, we love this book, and I'm like, we have to do another one. You know.
Mm.
So yeah, it's yeah,
But of course, now, as you see, you've got the Genuine Comics website,
yeah,
uh, and you have a hell of a collection going here. I mean, especially, I mean, to go into comic books for just a moment. Uh, Look at this; it's fantastic range. Uh, I'm going to gloat here. That's me. I sold it out. Hey. Uh,
I I could remove it, but I like to keep it on. It's also part of the branding to show people the catalog,
yeah,
what we had. Plus, you never know if people want to have that specific book. Maybe they can get it through eBay or whatever.
yeah, yeah. But again, it shows you have one hell of a range here. And I've got to ask, how does that feel to have your own site up, have your own business up? Is it something just so cool to look at and think, yep, that's all mine?
Yeah, that's crazy. It's just it's sometimes surreal, man. But it's like it kind of happens when you just keep doing it.
Mm,
So you start with one book, and then you make a second book, and then just focus on that project. And years go by, and at some point you have like 5 books, 6 books, 7 books, and
mm,
things grow. And then comes the point that you're like, okay, I need to find a way to better sell these books just through conventions. I now have this catalog starting, right?
mhm,
Um, Plus there is this moment where you kind of start to break even, and then it's like, okay, maybe this could be a business. And then I officially, so JM Comics is officially a business now. And so
mm.
I could set up the web store and everything. And yeah, it's really crazy. It wasn't something that I was really planning towards when I started this. It just I take things step by step and then see where it lands.
Yeah.
What what the options are.
But I love the fact, as we're seeing here, that you have pages, the original art pages for sale from the
Yeah.
comic, and
Yeah.
I've I own a comic page from Mary Boys,
Oh yeah.
uh, from of course the great Carl Steven. You can just see it over my shoulder there. Uh, Obviously the background's blurred, but
Mary
that
Boys is really cool. That's
oh,
so
I
well
love
drawn.
I love the Mary Boys book,
Yeah.
and I've said to Carl on numerous occasions, "Get your ass in gear, man, because I want to read the next one, which is almost that."
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
God
Also,
bless him. So I'm looking forward to that.
it's also unique.
Oh
Like
yeah,
like
absolutely.
like this is something that I like. I'm making like superheroes. It's not really unique, but it just I like the genre, and creating superheroes is to me the best thing ever.
Mm,
But I do admire people who do something completely different,
yeah.
um, which fits with the indie vibe, and then try to be successful with it, which
Mm.
is a challenge. Um,
Oh, of course.
but good on them, man.
So, as I mentioned at the start of the stream, I'm a latecomer to Genuine Comics and all things Perfect 10 and American Bliss. And part of the reason was I became very disillusioned with the crowdfunded comic scene because you've got the endless drama, which I don't think helps anyone. You've got increasingly late books, which we'll get into in a second. And I also think some very bad actors involved in the whole thing. And I'll just share 3 examples with you before we sort of discuss it in a bit more detail. But first of all, this one I didn't back. Uh, Now, Dan Frager's Black Flag. Now, as you can see here, that's what it's taken $227,000 of a $5,000 goal. And as you can see from the first perk featured, it was due in September 2021.
Yeah.
So on Monday, that will be 4 years late. Uh, that's that's terrible. I feel bad for anyone that backed that. Um, then you've got, of course, Rainbow the Brute, by, of course, one of the main characters in Comic J. Uh, Almost $540,000 over 10 grand goal. And again, scrolling down, due December 2021. So that's almost 4 years late. And then finally, this one I did back, but only the digital copy, I'm relieved to say. And that was Sovereign. Now, this one, 40 grand US of a 12 grand goal.
That looks great.
Yeah, the artwork was what sold me on it. But this was due back in May of 2019.
Oh.
Now, if you look at the comments on this one particularly, another thief. It's been 6 years since I backed this. Come on, brother, I know you can finish this. And of course, you've got ones like this. Again, just calling him a thief. I'm happy still. I'm not going to hold my breath. I mean, I could go on here. Is this dude still alive?
So I take it he hasn't updated for a while.
Let's have a quick look, because this is the first time I've actually looked at this in some time. So 17 updates. The last one 2 years ago, on August 1st. So again, it's what put me off it. And I think I'm waiting on 2 books that I backed. One is allegedly in fulfillment, and the other just sent out the digital files. But chances are, when they arrive, I'm probably just going to shove them on eBay and see if I can get any kind of money back for them. And a lot of the other stuff I backed, because I was a Cyberfrog fan, I enjoyed the books, but the second issue was 4 years late, and you can't see it, but it's actually just behind, in its box still behind that page, because I'm going to start selling those off in the new year. Now, as far as I'm aware, none of your projects were late. Whilst
There
you
was
do,
one project late of mine. I was 3 months late.
oh well, 3 months is nothing.
3 months.
as far as I'm concerned.
That was for
Yeah.
Perfect 10 3, because we redid half the book. So anyway,
So like I said, yours is the first book I backed in about 2 years.
yeah.
And I think that a lot of these individuals have really damaged the crowdfunded scene. And as someone, like I said, whose books have never been late besides 3 months, which is nothing as far as I'm concerned, I don't want to drag you too far into the weeds on this, because as far as I'm aware, you stay out of the drama besides the odd comment here or there. And my last guest, who does his book crowdfunded, Josh Howard, he's aware of it, but he stays well and truly out of it, which I admire him for. What is your take on all this? Because one of the last ones that was talked about, I should have had it up now really, was the Death Raider comic. And that became notorious because this guy made off with basically over 20 grand for a book which no longer looks like it's going to see the light of day because of some bullshit excuses he's made. What's your take on it?
Yeah, it's kind of weird that within a certain group this has become the norm. Like it's normal.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be, right? And I haven't backed from any of these people for years. Also, same reason as I was like, first to provide the book, and then for second chance campaign, I'll be back, right? So that's basically it. So I don't. It is a problem because these are like the bigger players, and they kind of set the tone. So from the outside, it looks like this is like normal for everyone, but there are so many creators who just like deliver when they say they will. So that, and I don't always understand why people keep like why the same group keeps getting all the attention. right? For
Hmm.
these reasons, I'm like, I moved on. It happens once, then next time I will see. All right, for second chance, I'll be there. But so I there is this aspect that I don't really get, why these people just can't get ignored, why they still like make a lot of money
Yeah,
for
yeah,
new
yeah,
campaigns. I don't get that. While others who deliver, they struggle, you know,
mm,
oftentimes. Um, and yeah, it's a shame, really. It's like comics seem like no longer the main thing, like why they do it,
yeah,
because of comic creator. So you make comics. I do YouTube because I just have to get comfortable. I want to help other creators, but the books are the business. And for other people, it seems the other way around. They have this YouTube thing, and they make books sometimes. And that's how the money comes in, through YouTube and through the books. And so they
yeah,
have this model that works for them, but it kind of harms um, the overall way this crowdfunding aspect is viewed, right?
yes. But you appear to have been unaffected by it, which is good to see.
Yeah, sometimes sometimes I see that I've been blocked by someone. I was like, what did I do? But then I hear from someone else, yeah, you're probably with this with that tribe. And I'm like, I'm not with any
Yeah,
tribe.
yeah,
It's like it's it's also, it's not alone it's not just silly, but it's also something that effectively puts me off of
hmm,
supporting creators. Some people will say you should separate these things, like the product and the product can be
yeah,
stellar,
yeah,
but it's like the complete attitude towards people who kind of support you. So people who support you, they make the books happen. Without
yeah,
them, you can't make any comics. They want the comics. That's why they back you. It's so simple.
mm,
So the complete disre- disregard for the backers. That's what kind of annoys me most.
yeah, yeah. Because I was talking with another lady about Cyberfrog because obviously issue 4 was something like 4 years. Issue 2 was sorry about something like 4 years later, and it's still in the box it came in because I never bothered to read it. I just had enough by then, and I lamented this fact to this lady. And Van Skyver, even though I don't think I tagged him or anything like that, um, he responded saying, "It's like, why are you mad? Just read it," or words to that effect. And I was just
Mhm.
okay, and I responded to him and I said, "Look, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Get off YouTube, get off social media, and
Mhm.
finish your damn books." Which is where I think a lot of this goes wrong because I see some of the live streams these guys do and how long they are. You just think,
Yeah.
so
That's the model to
yeah,
make
yeah.
money.
And I don't like it. It seems to be more a case of comics has become the side thing and doing these streams as their main event, which again is just
Mhm.
disappointing. But I'm glad it hasn't affected you, and long may Genuine Comics continue. Because if you're going to put out products like this, uh, consider me a fan for the long run. That's for sure.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah,
So
you are your own brand. So if you have something to sell and you make drama, then that's part of your brand. So you have to consider that when you are a creator, when you put things out there, when you put yourself out there. Sometimes I like to involve myself in stupid shit, but just
yeah,
think about it, count to 10, and in the end it's not worth it. You can damage your brand with this shit. Just focus
yeah,
on your
absolutely.
books.
All right. So to finish off with, then we've got my usual little tradition, which is the Pivo questionnaire, which was done on inside the Actors Studio by the late great James Lipton, who I like to pay tribute to with this little fun way to end the show. So, Dave, What is your favourite word?
I like the word serendipity.
Okay.
But the first time that I heard it, I was like, "What? What does that mean?" What? It took me a few weeks to actually get it. So I like that.
What is your least favourite word?
My least favorite word. I think. I think literally. For one reason, it's really difficult for me to pronounce, and the second reason, it's always used wrong. So
Okay.
you never know it. It can be one thing, but it can also be the complete opposite thing.
What turns you on can be anything that sort of gets your juicy flow or gets you excited,
Excited.
or I don't know, enthusiastic or anything like that.
What gets me enthusiastic when I see other people be enthusiastic. Sometimes I meet people, they have this particular interest, particular hobby.
Okay.
I met this guy who had like this passion for bagpipes. I have
Oh, really?
nothing with bagpipes,
Hmm.
nothing. But he could talk about it with such passion that it made me enthusiastic about bagpipes. So that
What turns you off?
um, turns me off. I think people who focus more on drama than like taking care of the backers and take care of the books. So I kind of turn off from books that I would normally buy and like because the creators are not just my thing.
I like that. What is your favourite curse word?
Godverdomme.
Oh, I've not heard that before. Should I ask what that means, or should I just leave that one be?
Yeah, just leave it be.
Okay, I like that one. Um, what sound or noise do you like?
Besides music, because
Hmm.
otherwise it's music, right?
Okay, that's good enough.
Besides music, that's well, I think the voice of my girlfriend.
Oh, that's good one. What sound or noise do you hate?
What sound of or noise do I hate? Um, Particular sound or noise that
Either
I
can be
hate?
either.
Well, oh yeah, there's this one thing. We have this weird like we have it's a gas detector,
Yeah.
you know. And sometimes when I make like sauerkraut, sauerkraut.
Yes.
It for some reason it responds to sauerkraut. So so when I'm when I'm cooking sauerkraut, the bloody thing goes off and it's really loud. I hate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I like it. What profession other than yours would you like to attempt?
Um, what profession other than my own would I like to attempt? I I might I might like to do like sculpting.
Okay.
I think like modeling.
And what profession other than yours would you absolutely not like to attempt?
What profession I wouldn't like to attempt?
Hmm.
Like I think prostitution.
All right. Okay. I've never thought anyone say that. Oh, brilliant. All right. Oh, wow. All right. If heaven exists, finally, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Hmm. I think I would like him to say that everything will be okay. I'm sometimes a bit worried about the
No.
planet, and so when it's my time and he tells me things are fine below, all right, that would be
Okay.
nice.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the current crowdfunder for Perfect 10 Issue 6 you can find on Fund My Comic. Otherwise, you can find Dave's work on his website, genuinecomics.com, which I thoroughly advise you check out. And also, you can find him on YouTube with the Drink with Brink show, which again, check it out because you will find some good stuff on there. Dave, this has been a great conversation. I thank you very much for your time and sincerely good luck with all your projects going forward. I'll be there for them. I guarantee you that. But thank you so
Oh
much for being with me today.
no, thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, it was really cool. Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for seeing us today, and I look forward to seeing you on the next show. But for now, take care.